Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, AJ Hoge, where AJ's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's AJ with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
I'm AJ Hoge, author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. Welcome. Today, we're talking about the 365-day challenge. I'm going to discuss a new challenge to improve your English. You can do it with anything. It doesn't have to be English, but probably for you, it's English. But focusing on practicing, on activity, on learning 365 days. What this means is that every day for 1 year, it means every day you will listen to English, use English, and we'll talk more about the details of this. And this is going to give you a huge improvement, a big improvement during 1 year. It's a good time to start in the north part of the world. It's spring, so this is a very good time to renew, to start again. And I'm going to be doing this challenge myself, not with English, obviously, but with something else, which I'll talk about. And the idea here is consistency. Consistency. So our focus for this year, for the next year, will be consistency. Consistency, not intensity. Consistency, not intensity. Intensity, what is that? Intensity means to do something very powerfully, right? To do it a lot. So, for example, if you're lifting weights, you're exercising. If you're doing intense workouts, you're using very heavy weights, right? So when you lift that weight, let's say you're lifting the weight over your head, that it's very heavy. Just moving my lights, right? So you're going to feel your whole body. It feels like your muscles are going to, pull apart or be destroyed. That's intensity, right? The opposite that would be something like moderation, or even less than that would be, something very light, right? If you used a light weight, something easy for you, and you lifted it over your head, you would not be, there would not be a lot of pain. You might still be smiling. Maybe you'd be breathing normally, mostly. And you could lift that weight over your head, and you could do it many times, right? If the weight was super heavy, maybe you can only do it once. And you do it, right? And then you're exhausted. But if the weight is very light, you can do it again and again and again and again and again. So this is the balance we have to have, because it's very tough, very difficult. In some things, it's almost impossible to have intensity and consistency both. Yes, it is sometimes possible, but it requires usually a huge amount of motivation, a huge amount of effort, a huge amount of energy to do something intensely. So it's very tough. You're doing it a lot. It's very hard work. And to do it a lot frequently, right? Every single day. So for example, again, thinking of weightlifting. If you're lifting those super heavy weights, you can't do it every day. You can't. Your body will break. You'll get injured very quickly. If you lift today you lift a super heavy weight, and then tomorrow you do the same exercise, super heavy weight, and the next day, same exercise, super heavy weight, you're eventually going to get injured, right? Your body, or just becomes completely exhausted after, 3 days, 5 days, maybe a month. Depends on how tough you are physically, but eventually your body will reach a limit, and your mind also, and you're just going to feel so tired, and your muscles going to get injured, or you just won't be able to lift the weight anymore because your muscles will never recover, right? So that's too much intensity. It's hard to do it all the time. On the other hand, like if you wanted to just lift, you could do the same exercise every day, lifting weights, if the weight was not too heavy. Maybe not super easy, but something kind of in the middle, a little moderate. And I do this when I use kettlebells. So they're a little bit heavy, but not super heavy for me. And so I can do that same, let's say, overhead press, right? Just lifting it over my head. I could do that every single day. Every day. Because it's moderate, right? It's moderate. So this is what you were going to do this year. To do something for 365 days, it means every day. You never miss a day for 1 year. This is kind of a tough challenge in a way, right? It means, so we're focusing on consistency. It means you will do English every single day for 1 year. You'll never miss one day, not one day. Now, that's the tough part. The good news is for this consistency, you can be relaxed about it. Since we're focusing on consistency, you do not need to do 5 hours a day. You know, as a basic idea, I think we should do about 1 hour a day. We're going to focus our goal as 1 hour every day, but for one whole year, 365 days in a row, never missing a day. So there's no rest days. There's no breaks. One whole year, every single day, English for 1 hour. You can do more if you want, but you don't have to do more. And this is the key, right? So it's some in our shorter challenges before, we did like the 3-month challenge, for example. Some people did 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day. The people who were at the very top, some of them were doing like 10 to 12 hours a day of English, which is great. But that's hard to do for a whole year and never miss a day. That's very tough. So our focus here is never miss a day. It's the consistency that we're focusing on, not the intensity, not the amount every day. Some days you're going to feel tired. Some days you'll be bored. Some days you really won't want to do it. Some days you'll be busy. Some days you might be sick. Some days you'll have a bad sleep. And so on those days, don't quit. You still need to do English for 1 hour. But what you can do is on those tough days, do something easy or fun or relaxing. I'm going to read a little section from a book of mine. Hey, Slavika, it's good to see you, by the way. Very good to see you. Thank you for the happy birthday wish. Thank you. I'm going to read a little bit from this book. It's actually a book about jiu-jitsu. See, I'm going to do a jiu-jitsu challenge. My goal is to do a 365-day jiu-jitsu challenge, which is very challenging for me because the physical part. But anyway, we'll talk about it. I'm going to read this because I think it's good for English. I think it's good for everything. This book has got some nice ideas. Just going to move it on my screen a little so I can read it. And all right, that looks pretty good. Oh, wait, here. Let me move it there. There we go. Move some stuff on my screen. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to read this and then I'll explain it. Yeah, you can see it. All right, here we go. All right. All right, so this is about a guy who did jiu-jitsu, and he had made a challenge for himself, and he called it the 365-day challenge. This is where I got the idea. And his challenge was he wanted to improve doing jiu-jitsu, which is a kind of martial art. It's kind of like wrestling. And so he decided, okay, I'm going to try to do jiu-jitsu every day for 1 year. And let me read this section. He talks about it. Okay, he says, I saw an article in the local newspaper that reported a girl had been surfing for 365 straight days in a year. That's 365 straight. Not massaging the figure, so it was 365 surf sessions in a year. Okay, so basically she didn't cheat, right? She didn't try to play with the numbers. It was every single day she went surfing. This guy read about this girl. No crying, no bailouts, meaning no quitting. Straight, meaning every single day. Never missed a day. Okay, so he was reading the newspaper. It was about a girl who went surfing every day for 1 year. Then he says, could this be possible with jiu-jitsu, his martial art? This is where my mind went as soon as I read the article. Would it be possible to roll every day for a whole year? In jiu-jitsu, when we say to roll, it means sparring. It means kind of practice fighting. To roll. That would take real commitment. So he decided to do it. Was I successful? Yes and no. For some reason, I felt it would be useful to start this exercise on my birthday. He started on his birthday. I had to manage several factors. My jiu-jitsu academy was not open 7 days a week, and I couldn't train at other schools. So we had to train at home sometimes. The program was great. I was flying along for the first month. Flying along means it was going very well, very easy, right? You say, I was flying along means he was moving quickly. He was doing it very well, very easily. Regardless of other commitments, so even other things he had to do, I made sure that I had a jiu-jitsu session every day. So he did jiu-jitsu every day. The second month came. I decided to work harder and more seriously. And I also started to visit other schools. So his jiu-jitsu school, the instructor didn't want him to go to other schools, but he just started doing it secretly. By the third month, after 3 months, there were whispers around my school that I had been traveling for private lessons. No one improves so much in a short time, right? So he's saying that after 3 months of doing it every day, the other students, they started to notice he was improving very quickly. And they started kind of gossiping about him, like, why is he improving so fast? He's doing private lessons. He's going to other schools, right? They're all kind of gossiping because everybody's noticing he suddenly, in 3 months, his improvement has shot up, right? Suddenly he's improving very quickly. He was just normal like everyone else. Now, boom, his skill is jumping up very fast because he's doing it every day. Then he says, my skills in psychology improved and I got my roadmap in shape. So this means he was training his physical body. He was doing jiu-jitsu practice, but he also worked on his psychology, his motivation, his mindset. So he was doing that also, working on that, focusing on success and positive thinking and all these other things. And that also helped him. So in 1 year, he said, I went from being a very mediocre blue belt. Mediocre means just so-so, not that good, not terrible, not great. And blue belt's the second belt in jiu-jitsu. There's white, which is where I am, and then blue belt's the next one. And then after that is purple. So he said, I accelerated into my purple belt without looking back. So in a short time, he doesn't say exactly, I think it was less than a year, he jumped. He was just an average kind of so-so blue belt, and he jumped up to purple belt very quickly by following this challenge, doing jiu-jitsu every day. My rules for the challenge were simple. I had to do a minimum of 1 hour a day. No excuses. Every day. And we'll stop there. All right, so you get the idea. 1 hour a day minimum, every single day. And he later in the book, he kind of discusses that, obviously he couldn't train super hard every single day because he would get injured. So, and he actually did have some injuries. He discusses he had some problems during this challenge. He got some injuries. He kind of went too hard sometimes. So he's kind of in this book discussing, the mistakes he made. And one of the mistakes was he went too hard. He went too tough sometimes. So when we're doing our challenge, we're going to do a challenge, the 365-day challenge. Let's just start What's today? We could start at beginning of April. April 1st that's April Fool's Day. Maybe we should start on April 2nd. We'll start April 2nd. And the idea is that we're going to focus on being consistent. And this is a little bit different mindset. Sometimes when we have a big goal or something, we focus on, I'm going to achieve something. I'll be fluent in English in a year. I'll get my blue belt in a year in jiu-jitsu. I will, whatever. We're not going to do that. No goals. There are no goals for this challenge. You have no goal, no TOEFL score goal, no goal at all. Your only goal is do English 1 hour every day. No exceptions. Never miss a day. That's your goal. We'll see. Will you achieve it? Maybe not. There might be some times where you will actually miss a day, but hopefully not. But your effort is never miss a day. That's all. 1 hour every day, never miss a day. Never miss a day. Don't worry about performance. You're not going to focus on your performance. You're not going to worry, am I improving? Am I not improving? Is my TOEFL score better? Is my speaking better? No. You're not going to try to get super motivated. This is a different way of thinking. When you have something short, a short challenge, a short goal, you can get very excited. Yes, yes, yes. And make yourself excited and you can achieve something. It's very tough to do that for a whole year, right? Because your energy is going to go up and down. Your motivation will go up and down. So this mindset, your attitude is a little more calm. You're just like, do it every day. Do it every day. Don't worry about how you feel. If you feel good, do it. If you feel bad, do it. Like brushing your teeth, like taking a shower. You don't need to get excited about it. You just do it. You just do it. On your difficult days when you feel lazy, tired, do some English that is easy or fun for you. Okay? So maybe you listen to an old lesson that's very, very easy. Right? Like maybe you go back to one of my more beginner lessons. You listen to just only the mini stories and it's very simple. And you do that for an hour. You can mix things. Maybe you're getting tired of listening. I've been listening. So just change and do some reading. If you get tired of doing that, maybe you just get on Skype and you chat. You just talk, have a relaxed conversation with someone for an hour. So you can mix it. You can do speaking some days. You can focus more on reading sometimes. You can focus more on, you can even do writing if you want. It doesn't matter. The only thing is real English. Just do real English every day, 1 hour. And you can change it as you want. Your only goal is consistency. Do it every day. So I'm going to join you in this challenge, but I'm going to do jiu-jitsu. I'm doing jiu-jitsu. I'm actually working to my blue belt. I hope to do the blue belt test this summer. And I need to start practicing more at home. So I'm going to kind of follow this same challenge from this book, but I'll do jiu-jitsu. My goal is to do jiu-jitsu every single day, and you'll be doing English every day. But hopefully I will see some nice improvements with my jiu-jitsu, and I expect you will see improvements with your English just from the consistency, just by doing it every day. You make it part of your life. It just becomes part of your life. You can do more than 1 hour, but not less. So that's it. We'll talk more about this. We'll chat more about it. Let's just we can go to our live chat now, and I can see your comments and questions. And that's it. Obviously, I've been gone for a while. I've had lots of happening some of you know that, I had some things with my family and one of our children, health issues. Things are going very well now. And some of you have asked very, very well now. We're very happy, but it was just a tough winter. It was a very stressful and difficult winter because of that and some other reasons. But now things are much, much, much better. I'm very busy now. I'm doing jiu-jitsu, like I said, trying to get ready for a blue belt test. We're going to move. We're just moving to different apartments to a different area in Osaka, Japan. Well, that's taking up some time. But anyway, I'm back now, and I'll try to get back to doing more shows again. So let's get into, I can answer some live comments and questions now. Those of you who are live, it's good to see you. I saw Slavika is on here. So good to see some of the familiar people. All right, let me just, I'm just going to, oh, Anise is here. Nice to see you, Anise. Okay, so like Rad Manish says, I'm from Afghanistan. I've been studying English for 8 months. I can write well. That's good. But my speaking and reading and listening are not good. Can you help me with these problems? Sure. That's actually, it's quite impressive. Most people find writing to be the most difficult. And indeed, your comment is written quite well. So the good news is you have in your mind, you can produce, you can create English very well. That's great. So probably the problem is speed, I'm guessing. The problem is speed. That with writing, the one advantage of writing is you can go very slowly. You can think about every word, you can think about every sentence, and that's nice. But in speaking, listening and speaking especially, you have no time. It's quick, fast. So, Ramanish, first of all, I would say, number one, don't worry. Don't think about English when you're speaking and listening. What I mean is don't think about grammar. Don't think about mistakes. You just need to try to focus on speed. Just get out English. Let it be bad English. Just speak bad English, but try to do it quickly. Eventually, it will become more correct. But you probably, in other words, work on your fluency first. This is naturally, with my babies, I've noticed this. They're starting, they're speaking quite a lot now in English, but they use completely wrong grammar, right? They're not using correct grammar, but they're very fluent. They'll use like a 2-word sentence or a 3-word sentence, even now getting to 4-word sentences. But, they're not conjugating verbs correctly, and they sometimes the order is all mixed up, and it doesn't matter. They're just get it out as fast as they can. They're just focused on words, using the words, and little by little, the accuracy, the correctness will improve. So, Rob Manish, I would recommend just focus a lot on doing a lot of listening every day, 1 hour or more of listening a day. And when you do speak to people, just communicate, right? Just try to get your ideas out quickly. Don't think about the correctness. Do this for, I would say, 6 months or more. Bhupendra, good to see you again. Oh, cool. Mr. Danny says, I'm going to do the challenge with my YouTube channel. Excellent. And this is something you can do. If you don't want to do it with English, if you want to kind of just join with it, it's just for fun, guys. It's just fun. Don't be too serious. But if you want to kind of join and do a challenge, a 365-day challenge, most of you are focused on English, so you can do English. But if you want to do something else, if you have something else in your life, then like I'm doing jujitsu, you could do it with business. Maybe you're starting a business, so you say, okay, I'm going to work on my business 1 hour a day, every day for a year. And then you really will start your business and grow it. So that would also be good. Some of you might have a fitness goal. So you could say, I'm going to exercise every day. I'm going to walk an hour every day or jog or whatever. It doesn't matter. So you decide. You can choose. Just choose something and do it every single day. Aslavika says, I'm happy your kids and family are well. Yes, thank you very much. It's very, very well. Very, very well. Kind of like a big stress off my shoulders. I was so stressed about it. It's hard not to be stressed with your children. All right. Nima says, when we're an adult, we can't learn second languages as well as children. Question. That's an interesting. This is a debate. Okay, a lot. I would say overall, yes, you're correct. Children I've seen this with my baby. I used to kind of debate this, academically from looking at research and things. But as I watch my children learn the language, clearly babies have an advantage. There's the not just with language, with many things. Their minds are open and just they're learning. They learn so much, so quickly, so easily. So yes, you're correct. There is, to a certain degree, yes. However, nothing to be stressed about. Adults do have some advantages. So, for example, learning, understanding more difficult vocab. A baby or a small child cannot do this, but as an adult, because you have life experience, because you speak already one language or more than one language, it's much easier for you to learn words like, I don't know, the word, I don't know, consistency. So a child, it's hard to even for them to understand the idea of consistency, but you can learn it if you can look at it, you can look in the dictionary, get a translation, and you can get that in your head and understand the idea. You already understand the basic idea. You just have to learn the vocab in the new language. So we do have, I think, adults do have certain advantages, but kind of like if you look long term, yes, a child will probably end up, if you learn a language as a small child, you'll speak it better than if you learn it as an adult. In general. But you can still, you can look at guys like Steve Kaufman and many others who learn a huge number of languages and learn many languages very well as adults. So there's no point worrying, getting upset about it. But on the other hand, if you have small children, it is a great time. It's a great opportunity to help, encourage them, help them learn at least one other language when they're in that sort of perfect window. It's not just language like music. This is also true for music. If you look at most high-level musicians, like really good musicians, most of them learned to play, let's say, the guitar. Someone who's an incredible guitar player. Most of them started when they were young, at least like kind of early teenager years, and some of them earlier than that, right? You don't see many like super high-level guitar players who started learning at age 30. There might be some, but overall, right, there's something there. So if you have small children, by all means, let them learn languages. Mine are learning too, Japanese and English. I'm a little jealous. Oh, Dawood, Ibrahim, good to see you again. Do you think we should be able to continue this challenge without any goals? Yes, this is an important part. I didn't read the whole part of the book to you, but with this challenge, it's actually very important to have no goals, because your only focus is just on the consistency only. If you focus on the goals, then you can lose motivation, because sometimes you feel like you're not making progress. Like right now in jiu-jitsu for me, I feel like I'm stuck. I'm not getting better. And then that becomes very frustrating. If I focus on that too much, then I become frustrated. It's easy to But if I only focus on something I can control, right, which is just do it every day, 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 I control that. I can't control that I'm, older and all the guys are younger than I am. I can't control that I don't seem to be improving much right now. There's lots of things I can't control or that can be frustrating. But when you focus just on doing the time every day, it kind of eliminates. You don't need so much motivation. It's actually it makes your work easier. And as of course we know, and the whole point of this is that, in fact, of course, if you do it every day, you will improve. You eventually will improve. It's going to happen. But don't focus on that, because when you focus too much on improving, right, we hit a plateau, we hit a point, we're not improving for a while. This is always going to happen. It's very natural in all skills. And that during that time, it can be very psychologically difficult. But if you just focus on do it an hour, 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 then you don't worry about it. It's just like if you're doing running. If you're running was your goal. If you just run every day, I guarantee you will get faster. You will get faster. You won't even realize you're getting faster, but your body will, after several months, your body is going to get in better shape. You'll be running faster. You won't feel it even. You'll think, oh, I'm running the same speed because it feels the same. You're breathing the same. Everything feels the same. But if you actually do a race, you'll find out, oh, I've gotten faster, right? But you never focused on getting faster. You never had that goal. But eventually, if you're a very serious runner, then yes, of course, you might really focus on speed for a while and have a goal and do it. But you can't do that all year. You can't do that for a whole year. So you would do it maybe for 3 months or 4 months. So that's why we're not going to focus on a goal. The only goal is just consistency. Do it every day. Do it every day. Do it every day. Never miss a day. That's it. And then just let the improvement happen by itself. This is a very, I would say, chilled out, to use an idiom. Chilled out means relaxed. This is a very relaxed challenge in a way, right? The idea is don't get too tired from it, but do it every single day. Diego is one of our contributors, says, awesome, you're back. Thank you, Diego. That's interesting. Eterna Energy says, what is the emotion one has to have to not be led by extremes? For not taking so long to pick precise words and the images in your head. I think, again, often this comes from, right, this idea of where you're talking very, very slowly, right? Like this, hesitating. Is you're trying to be too perfect. In my experience, usually this comes from being worried about making a mistake, worried about using the wrong word, trying to be perfect. So focus on speed for a while. Kind of the advice I gave before. Sometimes it's helpful just to focus on speed. Just get it out, get it out, get it out. Make the mistakes. It doesn't matter. Make a lot of mistakes. Use the wrong word sometimes. Just get it out, get it out, get it out. Sometimes that's very helpful just psychologically to relax, and you're focusing on fluency is what you're doing, right? You're just trying to get your speech faster and more natural, but not perfect. And this is exactly what babies do. I'm watching my babies do this right now. They don't care about mistakes. They don't even know about them, right? If they know, they're even mixing now. Sometimes they mix Japanese and English together. They don't care. They just want to communicate the ideas, and they just get it out, and it comes out very fast. But it's not always correct. But that doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. The correctness comes later. The correctness will improve with time. In the beginning, just just speaking, it's okay. Like, even just to use, broken sentences when you speak English. It's okay. Maybe you're listening to me now and you understand your listening's quite high, but maybe your speaking's not so good, and you feel, my speaking sucks, and then you don't want to do it. But just use broken English. You can just say, this one want, how much money, how much money, how much, this one, no, this one. I mean, that's terrible English, right? But it communicates the idea. I do this in Japanese all the time. My Japanese sucks, but I'm just focused now. I just use what I have badly, and it works. It works. Like works good enough. It's good enough. And this is what my babies do. So I would say just do that for a while. And it helps you relax and enjoy the language more instead of, you're not in school anymore, hopefully. So who cares if you make mistakes? Just communicate your ideas as best you can. Cool. Artwork says, I'm really excited with this challenge. I always listen to your podcasts on the way to school. I lose motivation. Anytime I lose motivation learning English, I'll watch your videos. Thanks so much. Great. That is one of my goals, is to help you do exactly that, to keep your motivation high, keep enjoying English, relax about it, get rid of some of these ideas that the stress from school. Anna says, Anna B, are you happy with your Japanese? What's your current level? Yeah, I'm really lazy. Happy with my Japanese. It's good enough. I survive here. The problem is I have other things I'm more interested in. And I don't really enjoy studying it and learning it so much. So, yeah, it's okay. It's not that good, but I'm kind of like a baby. Like I'm just starting to, I just use it. What I have, I use it badly, but it's good enough for me at the moment. Let's see. Guillermo Antonio says, create a lot of phrases through writing. Does it help us speak more naturally? It can, a little bit, yeah. I can't think fast in English. I forget simple things during a conversation. Yeah, so again, I think it's the idea. You can do this, yes. You can write out phrases, and hopefully they'll transfer to speaking, especially if you maybe read them out loud to yourself. That's totally fine. I would also recommend just speak in broken sentences. Again, this is where I am now. And I'm seeing it with, like I said, especially as I see it with my children, I realize, this is a natural, you won't always do it if you keep going, but it's a natural, we would call phase, time where when you're first starting or when you're starting to communicate in a language, it's totally fine to just do it badly. Like who says you have to speak well? You don't have to speak well. You might want to speak well eventually. That's fine. But before you speak well, you will speak badly. It's just, we all know this. This is every single thing in life, right? Like I want to do jujitsu well. But before I can do jujitsu well, I have to do it badly. There's no way to jump from nothing to really good. You can't just jump there, right? You have it's a path. It's a process. And you have to have quite a lot of time doing it, but not well, doing it badly, and then improving tiny bits until finally you will do it well, right? And we kind of get in our minds, I think, that we want to skip. We want to jump over the bad part. We want to jump over being bad. People want to go from like zero speaking of English to fluent and never have the middle part. And the middle part is where you're using one word, two words, 3 or 4 words. Your grammar's bad. You're mixing. Maybe the sentences are broken. Pronunciation's not so great. But you just have to enjoy that part too and do it as best you can. And this is like I said, in jiu-jitsu, it's the same. Like, I'm still a white belt. And yeah, I see the purple belts and black belts. I'd love to fight like that, but I can't. There's no way. It'll be years and years and years, maybe even never. Who knows if I'll achieve that. So I have to just enjoy fighting kind of badly. But at least it's better than nothing, right? I'm better than zero. I'm better than I used to be. I can fight somewhat now. If I fight a total beginner, I can do very well. So before you fight well, you fight badly. Before you speak well, you speak badly. Golf, surfing, it doesn't matter, everything. So just relax about it. And it's again in school that we have this idea that every test you have to get an A, right? But that's not, you don't just go A. In life, it's actually, you start with F, and then maybe you do D's, and then maybe C, and you kind of gradually build up until that A level over years. Let's see. And he says you should stick to the 7 rules that you created. These rules help me so much. Absolutely. Follow the 7 rules. Gets on my website, effortlessenglishclub.com, effortlessenglishclub.com. Just, join my email course. It's free, and you'll get all the 7 rules. It's good to follow, yes. Okay. Yeah, like Everton says, communication is the goal, not perfection. That's a nice way to say it. Communication, not perfection. Just communicate as best you can. Don't worry about being perfect. And he says, I'm learning Spanish. It's easier than English, but they speak too fast. Yeah, that's my experience with Spanish, too. It's definitely easier than English, but except for the speed. They do speak quite fast. If you can get them to slow down, Spanish is not so bad. This is always I can read Spanish pretty well. If someone speaks slowly, it's not too bad if they're using kind of regular Spanish. But man, listening to 2 native speakers talk to each other, they're speaking fast and using broken Spanish, broken sentences and sometimes slang, and it's very, very tough then. Okay, Momo says, I have a question. Sometimes I meet native speakers that speak very clearly, but it's too hard to understand some speakers. What do you think? What's the problem? Yeah, that's interesting. It's true because not everyone's the same, right? So some native speakers, Americans or whatever, you might find, this one's easy to understand. They have very clear pronunciation. They're not using a lot of slang. Maybe their speed is a little slower, right? Naturally, they don't speak so fast. Maybe the topics, are topics so the vocabulary. So all of these things will help you understand them easily. On the other hand, some native speakers might have an accent, like a regional accent, New York accent or something like that. They might naturally speak much faster, and they might use more slang, which you don't know. And the topics, they might talk about topics that you don't know so well. You don't know the vocabulary for that topic so well. And when all of these things happen, suddenly you think, I can't understand them at all. And it seems strange. Oh, this native speaker I understand very well. This other native speaker, I can't understand them at all. What's the problem? Well, that's the problem. It's one of those things, or a combination. Like you might listen to me and think, oh, I can understand AJ easily. I speak fairly slowly. I don't use slang very much. But then you might listen to Tony Robbins and say, I can't understand Tony. Well, he speaks very, very quickly. And he does use more slang than I do. Sometimes he uses special vocabulary for certain topics that also you might not know. So suddenly Tony Robbins seems difficult. So that's why. Like here's another example. Vahid Shah says, I understand your communication easily, AJ, but I can't sometimes I can't understand Justin Bieber's accent. I don't know Justin Bieber's accent. I'm not sure, but he's a pop star. He probably uses a lot of slang. So there could be several reasons why his English is more difficult for you. So don't feel bad about that. Oh, Dawood Ibrahim says, I love you, AJ. You're my role model. I got to go. Promise I'll listen to this lesson on the podcast later. Thanks for joining. Glad you could join, Dawood. Nice to see you again. Artwork of TTDP says, what do you think about talking to ourselves in English at home? Yes, good. Do it. I used to ask my friend to practice speaking with me, but they were too shy. Yeah, you can just talk to yourself. Just walk around, talk to yourself. Just speak English out loud, alone. Totally fine. Yeah, it's good. Adel says, I don't have a plan to learn English. What's your recommendation? So I would say do this challenge that we're doing. Just do English an hour every day. Not much of a plan. Do what you want. The only rule is 1 hour a day. That's your plan. If you want something more specific, I would say try listening. Focus on listening for a while. Listen to English 1 hour a day. Listen to my lessons, my podcast, or something else. And if you start getting bored listening, then you can do reading some days or talk to people some days or whatever, right? That's what I would say. Now, Farhad says, welcome back. I caught up on your old shows during the break. Good. Yes, I've got a lot of old podcasts, a lot of old show videos. So if anytime I'm gone, you can go look at the old ones. You can see me when I was 10 years younger. Okay. Magali Rojas says, AJ, I read the book Brave New World in Spanish, my language. It was a difficult book to understand. I don't like reading science fiction. Nice to see you again. See, that's a good point. See, sometimes some of the books we do, even in your language, they're difficult books because the ideas are difficult, or less, or not obvious, or the stories are a little complicated. So some of you, if you listen to my old book club about Brave New World, some of you maybe, I tried reading it in English. It was tough. Don't feel bad because even in your own language, it might be a little tough, right? So that it's kind of an advanced book. I tried to make it easy in our book club by explaining it easier, but yes, some of those books are quite difficult. Sariti says, your mini stories are awesome. Thank you. Yes, they're good. They are good. The mini stories are, I think, the very best way to learn English speaking and listening. 100% number one. If you only do one thing, listen to the mini stories every day. That would be my best advice to you. If you only want to focus on one thing, something very specific, listen to my mini stories every day. It's the most powerful technique. It's the best technique to become fluent and to improve quickly. Number one. You can do other things also, reading and listening to other things, and there's lots of other stuff you can do, but that would be number one. Okay, a couple more and time to go. Ivan Pater says, where are you now? What part of Japan? We have the same time zone. I'm in Osaka, Japan. Kale saying, do you have a WhatsApp group? I don't have a WhatsApp group, no. I'm on gab.com. It's on the screen here. Gab.com, and my username is AJ Hoge. That's the only social media I'm doing now. kind of tired of social media. Kind of sick of it. So that's the only one I do. One, Gab. That's all. Slavika says, we live in Brave New World. I don't like it. We do. We live in Brave New World right now. Unfortunately, yeah, they won the recent battles, it seems. So we are living in Brave New World at this moment. Rosanna says, do we need to put the challenge results in a place like we did before? Not really, because the focus this time is not focusing on number of hours, right? That was more, those other challenges were more focused on intensity, right? 3 months, as many hours as possible, right? That's intensity. Do a lot in a short time. That's what intensity means. But this is kind of, well, not necessarily the opposite, but it's a very different approach. It's just doing a little bit, but every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day, right? So I don't want to focus on maximum hours. The problem is if you do maximum hours for 3 months and then maybe you get tired and then you do nothing for a while. That's what happened to me after that challenge. I did very well during our 3-month challenge, the first one we did. And then after that, I was kind of burned out, and then I just took a long break. So this is going to be kind of the opposite of that. It's just consistency. So it's more something we can talk about and discuss, but we're not going to track it because I don't want to make it a competition. Ideally, everybody just does it every single day. If you miss a day, don't get stressed out. Just come back the very next day and keep going. Try not to miss any days. Oh, Slavika says, I sang a song in Japanese for your birthday. Oh, that's nice. Check it out on Gab. I will. I'll go check it out after this. Thanks. That's nice. Oscar VG says, do you like to ride a bicycle, or what sport do you practice? I like riding a bike. I don't do it much here. I live in a city, so I do jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is a martial art. Fighting, right? Wrestling. So people who know about martial arts or mixed martial arts, you guys know jiu-jitsu. So I do jiu-jitsu. That's my sport. Specifically, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Gracie jiu-jitsu. And he says, happy birthday. Thank you again for the happy birthday wishes. Thank you. What Safarov says, what do you say about Steve Kaufman? Who is powerful as you? Is he as powerful as you? I don't know I'm not sure what you mean by powerful. He's a much better language learner than I am. Far better. Obviously. Steve's great. I'm not sure what you mean by is he as powerful as me. He's awesome. He's great. Really, I like him personally, and as a language learner, he's very impressive, super impressive. He and I agree. Steve comes from learning languages as his, I was gonna say hobby, but more than that, his passion, right? And I come from the side where I was just teaching my own language, English. But what's interesting is that we both kind of agree on most of the main ideas. My experience as a teacher, his experience as a learner, we have kind of found the same results, what works. I found the results by observing and watching my students and which ones improved and what worked and what didn't. And of course, he did it from his own personal experience. And he and I agree on almost everything about language learning and language teaching. So yeah, there's no competition there. He's great. I often recommend his website, Link, Lingq. I'm a member still of his website and use it. So Steve's awesome. Okay, a few more and we'll get on going here. Pretty good to see you. Happy birthday. Thank you. Fabio says, I think you should try Brazilian capoeira. That's I'm not very flexible. I've seen that's with the high kicks and it's almost like dancing. I'm more of a jiu-jitsu guy. Slow grinding on the mat is my approach. That's yeah. I've tried different striking. I've done a little bit of kickboxing in my life, and I did kind of point karate when I was a kid. I'm not very good at striking. I much prefer grappling, which is grabbing and wrestling because it's slower. And especially now, I'm 53 years old, so I love and plus I just love jiu-jitsu. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love jiu-jitsu. And it's fantastic. It's really cool because jiu-jitsu is like this kind of like it's a really cool international almost community family, really, in a way, right? So I'm doing Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Like our association is the Gracies, super famous. Obviously, the famous Brazilian family, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They really developed Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm in Japan, which is where Jiu-Jitsu came from originally. Like the far deep roots of Jiu-Jitsu started back in Japan. My instructor is half Japanese. He's Brazilian, but his Japanese, his family was Japanese, right? But he grew up in Brazil, but now he lives in Japan. So it's this really cool mix now of Brazil and Japan and America, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, like Rosanna says, the focus this challenge is to be focused on not missing one single day in a year. It's a big goal. It is a big goal, right? That's quite a big goal. It's a big goal to not miss a single day. Because, we all know in life, someday you're going to get busy. Someday you're going to get tired. Someday you're going to get sick. It's going to happen in 1 year. Probably many times there will be days like that, some tough days. So that's the challenge, is on those days, can you still do it? That's where the challenge happens. Yasmin says, happy birthday, AJ. We Brazilians love you. Thank you. Oh, pretty good. Your birthday is coming up March 27th. Happy birthday to you, too. Jose says karate. He does karate. Nice. Learning with Luis is fun. What's the best way to teach an English beginner student? Luis, I believe that the storytelling method, TPRS, is the number one way to teach beginners. Now, using that same mini story technique, but so what's the difference? For intermediate, you can use that at really all levels, but especially intermediate and beginner. The difference between teaching beginner, teaching intermediate is just how long the stories are and how difficult. So for a beginner, a story might only be 4 sentences, right? We maybe call it a micro story instead of a mini story. So beginners, it would be 4 or even 3 super short sentences with a lot of repetition, a lot of questions and questioning, and maybe a little longer than that, but the sentence is super simple and short. The vocab, don't add. The main thing with beginners is don't add too much new vocab each time. Then it becomes overwhelming. John NRJ says, you're the best teacher on the earth. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. Oh, this is very nice. Natalia Cortez says, thank you, AJ. You came to my life during an emotional trauma. I applied your English lessons also to heal my soul. Happy birthday from Chile. That's very nice. Thank you and congratulations. I'm glad. I hope you're doing very well. Okay, we're an hour, so I think I'm going to stop here. Just a couple more and we'll get going. I'm doing a little extra time today since I've been gone for so long. AJ, where do I get your free podcast every day? Asks Zal. The podcasts, so the audio part of the podcast, there are a lot of podcast apps. I don't know, iPhone or Android, whatever you have. Just look podcast app. Download one. There are a lot of them. iTunes, I think, is one on Apple. I can't remember the name of all. There's a lot of them. Okay, so just download a podcast app, and then inside the app, search for Effortless English podcast, and then you'll find it. Farhad says, is there a regular schedule for your shows? There's not right now. My life is just too up and down and crazy at the moment with the babies and everything. So I'll try to get to it, but no promises right now. Oh, cool. Fabiano says, my first book that I read only in English was your book, AJ. Oh, that's fantastic. And, that is a really good one to try to read in English, because that book, I wrote it trying to use to make it understandable. It's not easy, it's not beginner, but it's kind of more intermediate level, and I avoided too much. I avoided slang, and it should be I've listened to my own book in Spanish. It's translated to Spanish, so I found I could understand it in Spanish pretty easily, in audio and in reading too. So I think most of you could read my book in English. It would be good practice for you. And you can get the audiobook free at effortlessenglish.com. Cool. Rosanna says, I did a schedule to study English every day. I'm on this challenge because was missing so many times doing. Good. Awesome. Me too. I'm going to start. I think officially we'll start April 2nd. We're going to avoid April Fool's Day. That seems like not a good day to start. So April 2nd is a Friday. I'm looking at my calendar. So that's just about a week from now. A little over a week. That'll be a good day to start. April 2nd, we'll start, and we'll go from there. And what I recommend you do, just get a wall calendar. I've got a wall calendar here behind me. And what I'm just going to do is just put a check, or an X or a check. So every day you do English for 1 hour or more, check. And then the next day, check. Right? And the next day, check. And then you can see visually, I'm doing it every day. And if you miss a day, you'll see that one day, the whole. Maybe what we could do is we could discuss at the end of the month, or, the end of each month, we could discuss how many days did you do this month? Did you do all the days? So how many days does April have? I don't remember. 30 or 31, right? So we could say, did you do 30 or 31 days, or did you miss a day? And we can do a show about that, and we could kind of chat about it. And like I said, I'll do jiu-jitsu. For me, the challenge is to avoid getting hurt. Injury is my challenge. Your challenge probably will be boredom, or being frustrated you're not improving, or these kind of things. You can find my stories for Farid on effortlessenglishclub.com. That's my website. Join my VIP program. That's a good one to just try, because it's only $1 to try it. My VIP program is effortlessenglishclub.com. That's my advanced program, but you can get a feeling then. It's just $1 to try it, and if you like it, keep going. If it feels too difficult, then you can try one of my other courses, which are easier, like Power English, or the original course is the easiest. Yeah, Fabio says, repetition is the mother of skill. I listen to your videos every day in the office. Never quit. Your message is very important. Thank you. You deserve the best. AJ, congratulations. That's right. This is exactly it. Repetition is the mother of skill, right? Meaning this is why we're focusing on consistency this time. That it's just repeating. You don't need to get too excited about it. Just do it every day. Repeat, and you will get better. 100% you're going to improve. I guarantee you'll improve. You do English every single day for 1 year, you are going to improve, right? Just like I will improve with jiu-jitsu. I know I will if I just do it every day and stop worrying. I get too focused on this is the problem. This is the weak point of goal setting. Goal setting, we say in English, a double-edged sword, two-edged sword, cuts both ways. It means it's goals, and goal setting has benefits and also bad points psychologically. The benefits is you can get motivated for a while. Very motivating, right? By focusing on a goal. So that's the good point. The bad point is that it can also hurt your motivation if the goal is too long or too far away, or if you're not succeeding for a while. Sometimes with the goal, we're not making progress, and then the goal can actually hurt our motivation because we're so worried about getting better. I'm not getting better. Then we get stressed, we get frustrated, and we actually start to lose motivation. And that's where a goal can actually hurt you, right? That's where focusing on your performance hurts you long term. And I can use this in jiu-jitsu very well in my own fighting, because every time I go to jiu-jitsu, we fight. It's called sparring, practice fighting. But it's very clear, if I'm losing or winning, and usually I'm losing. And this can become frustrating, right? Let's say I have a goal. I'm going to get better, right, at jiu-jitsu. And then after 2 months, I go to a class and I fight, and everybody beats me, and they beat me very badly. Okay? I do terribly. So how am I going to feel? I'm going to be very frustrated, right? I'm not getting better. I'm not improving. It could be very easy to lose motivation in that situation, because I'm focusing too much on my performance. But maybe it was a bad day. Maybe I have a plateau right now. Maybe kind of mentally I'm learning new things, but my body's not ready yet, right? I mean, there are many reasons why sometimes we are practicing but not getting better. So many times it's because our brain and our bodies need more time to get used to everything, right? Many times that's the reason. But this can be frustrating. These are called plateaus, right? So maybe 2 months you're listening to English every day, and then after 2 months you talk to an American and you can't understand them, and then you're going to you get very frustrated, lose your motivation. I'm not getting better, right? And you get upset. But maybe you probably are getting better. I guarantee it. But you're just not quite ready yet. So this is the danger of goals. Instead, if you just keep going, well, maybe after 3 months or suddenly 4 months, there's a time when you'll jump up. This is how improvement happens usually, right? Nothing, and then you jump up suddenly. It seems like you have a big improvement all suddenly. But actually, during the time of nothing, you're practicing. Actually, your brain, it's like your subconscious, something's happening. You are learning, but you're just not ready to perform better yet, right? This is true for English. It's true for sports, right? The same thing. I know it's true for jiu-jitsu. Nothing. And who knows, maybe this summer suddenly I'll jump up and I'm doing better. I know this will happen if I don't stop. If I just keep going, it will happen. It will happen for you with your English as you listening, reading. Nothing happening, nothing. And then suddenly 2 months from now or 5 months from now, suddenly your English is going to jump up. It will feel very sudden. So that's why It's important. Just focus on doing it every day, and don't worry each week. Are you better? Are you worse? Some weeks you'll feel better. Some weeks you'll feel worse. Some weeks everything's just it's the same. Some months it feels the same. Some months it feels like you're going backwards. You're getting worse. You're not, okay? But this is why it's just keep being consistent and don't worry about your performance too much. Awesome. Slavika says, in our Skype group, we had a speaking challenge. It lasted 2 months. We talked all day long during 2 months. Great experience. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Really cool. Awesome. Okay, guys, it's 3 a.m. in Europe. Yeah, it's time for me to go as well. I got to take care of some babies. So, lots of love to you all. Go to effortlessenglishclub.com, effortlessenglishclub.com. As I said, just try my VIP program. It's the great way to just try, get some mini stories, try my system in a very cheap way, $1. You love it. Keep going, stay a member. Awesome. If it feels a little difficult, you can try one of the easier programs. So, effortlessenglishclub.com, effortlessenglishclub.com. I'll be back again hopefully soon. We'll talk more about this challenge and many other things. I've missed you all. I love you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.